Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify and operate with integrity and transparency. So it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The crypto bull run in full effect. The infamous banana zone is approaching, and Raoul Pal tells us in this video that we are days, if not just weeks away from just this amazing, everything is awesome time frame. So stay tuned. All right, in a recent video from Raoul Pal on his Drinks with Raoul, this is not part of the Journeyman podcast series, I don't think. I think it's separate. Drinks with Raoul is separate. So in here, he actually began pretty cool, showed him being out in Africa, like literally out in the sticks and next to like rhinos and elephants and lions and all sorts of crazy stuff. So he definitely is enjoying his best life and helping others understand this amazing opportunity we have. So in this clip I'm gonna play for you guys is, first up, kind of a repeat of his everything code thesis. And again, I keep coming back to this because he's the first person I have heard explain things in such a way as, like, once you pull the veil back and you see that everything is connected, hence his term, the everything code, it's like, okay, you can't unsee it. And then the cycles make sense. Like everybody else I listen to is just speculating on the previous cycle and how history could rhyme and this, that, and the other. But Raoul has tied it into global liquidity, M2, demographics, aging population demographics, labor force, AI, like all this stuff ties together. And he shows just how it plays out. And then again, as it says down here, unfuck your future and don't fuck this up, how you can capitalize on this 50x coming into the space over the next decade. So first and foremost, he talks about what happened with the Fed. So once the meeting came out and we got the 50 basis point cut, Bitcoin has basically took off, broke the 62, and now it's kind of bouncing around 62 and a half, 63. Could still have some short-term volatility back and forth, but like another, I think Swan Bitcoin said, is 60 the new 10, you know, maybe 52 or something like that. Might be, you might get lucky with some people that get liquidated on some longs. But yeah, it's crazy to see how things can change so fast. So let's play this clip from Raoul.
Markets, FOMC, blah, 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 50 basis points, blah, 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 nobody cares. Markets are always unreadable around events like this. You need a day or two to settle down. I've been saying this for a long time. Inflation is falling. Rates were at 5.5%, they're now 5%. Inflation, headline inflation is at 2.5%. Half the people on the internet is like, oh my God, inflation's so high, it's 2.5% and it's falling. In fact, I'm going to show you a chart. Nick, I'm just going to share a chart, which is just, it's the easiest chart in the world. Is the chart of CPI versus the large outburst of inflation, the five largest from the 1940s to the 1980s. This Mount Fuji pattern is so consistent. Yeah, everybody bleats, oh, well, they're gonna, if they cut rates, they're gonna bring inflation back. No, they're not, they never have. Inflation will come at the end of the cycle. This is so normal. Inflation is gonna keep falling, it'll be below 2%, and guess what? I think rates are coming below 2%, and people don't understand this yet. And
See, that's why again I like listening to it, because he's a macro guy. So like he zooms out and looks at data from years, decades, and yeah, you hear the sky is falling narrative and all this other stuff about a recession and stuff from other people in the space. But Raoul is like cool as a cucumber, cool than a polar bear's toenails. Oh, hell. And telling you that this is normal, and he has the data to back it up. So he's not just like talking out of his ass. So I am excited to see what's going to take place with all this. And like he mentioned in another podcast recently, I think it was another interview somewhere, saying that we are still 300 basis points higher than we need to be, because we're sitting at 5 and the Fed cut rates from 5.5 to 5, but that's still 300 basis points above the 2% target, which means over the next 12 to 18 months, you will see 300 more basis points roughly cut, which just caused this to take back off. This was COVID, of course, but this is M2. He's going to talk about M2 coming up, so I don't want to spoil his thunder.
And so I think rates will continue to be cut. The market doesn't understand this. Rates are part of financial conditions that should continue to improve. In fact, do I have a financial conditions chart on? I've stolen Julian's charts from our exponential age asset management investment committee meeting this morning. That one's basically the rate of change of interest rates versus the ISM survey. Don't tell Julian I'm doing this. He'll get pissed off because I'm using his charts. Our GMI model, it shows that ISM, the business cycle, is all about to pick up. All the talk about recession and everything is just utter nonsense. We've actually got economic growth signposted everywhere whilst inflation is falling. So that's the big story. So the Fed, blah, 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 blah. But generally speaking, risk assets should be doing really well. And risk assets are doing really well because guess what? As I've talked about, bleated about, explained to you in the Everything Code is global liquidity. This is the time they have to roll the debt. Global liquidity is going to go up. And hey presto, it's going up just like it did every other time. So that's global.
And I showed you guys that in another video that I had, but this is just an easy one to see it with Bitcoin. And you can see every time M2, which is the blue bar graph down here, goes up, Bitcoin goes up with it. Because like you said, that just gives people basically, to put it simply, more money to spend and they take more risk, right? So you give them more opportunity and they're like, hey, let's go ahead and gamble a little bit over here, put more into these risk on assets, which is currently what people still look at Bitcoin as. And then you saw this, this up here, which one is that? That's during the COVID stimulus. And that's where we ended up with the double top in Bitcoin. But, can't keep zooming in, out, stop that. And once you look at this, let's take out this one. There we go. You see it start to fall off. Bitcoin went back down. When down here, you see the M2 getting sucked back out. And then it starts to climb back up again with the M2 increasing again. So it's, it just makes sense when you look at the, as he says, the everything code or the whole chart, so to speak. So I am definitely excited to see where Bitcoin will go in this cycle. And we are literally just getting started. So, oops, I took the BTC price out of it. Yeah, this is what I meant to be showing. Didn't realize that. I thought I hit the M2. That's the money supply line. And this is the growth to the bottom. But anyway, you guys get the point. So when M2 went up here, we had that all-time high this year. And as M2 has stayed up over the last couple of months, with the idea, because remember, this is forward-looking, right? So a lot of the stuff gets priced in before the Fed makes a move because they're using lagging indicators. So the market reacts prior to the actual information coming from the Fed. So let's go and listen to the rest of the round.
Global M2, we can use GMI weekly global liquidity, which is just central bank orientated. Less exciting yet. When we get to the Chinese, their assets, their balance sheet in white, that's cyclical. It will continue to grow. They will probably do a lot of quantitative easing. But generally speaking, overall, the GMI total liquidity index breaking out. Now, again, you people are watching this on YouTube, getting everything for free, drinking. Just to show why it matters, this is the banana zone. I posted this on Twitter. Global M2, 10-week lead over Bitcoin. Do you need anything better than that? Oh, wait, I can give you something better than that. I can give you the GMI total liquidity, which is both private sector and state sector liquidity versus Bitcoin. It says the banana zone is here. That's the only thing I can think of, is that everything I look at says the banana zone is here. Bitcoin seasonality, election years, October, up only. Right? And these are big moves. Same in the Russell 2000. You know, I'm not going to go through all of Julian's charts because that's unfair, and we're going to do it to the Real Vision RVIP group tomorrow. We've got an AMA there where we're going to really dig in to some of our stuff. Here's Bitcoin last year versus this year. I mean, really? And this is La La Land, ETH last year versus this year. So, oh, and by the way, that's the straightforward Bitcoin pattern. I mean, everything I look at, every single thing shouts the banana zone. Now, I'm wearing my banana zone t-shirt because I think it's coming. I think it's coming in days, or maybe a week. And before I said, well, maybe it's next month, maybe it's the month after, maybe it's this week, I don't know. I'm like, no. Julian and I in Global Macro Investor, which is the flagship research service, And if you haven't checked it out, go to globalmacroinvestor.com, have a look, see what we do from there. That's where we do the deep work. I think we do more macro crypto work than anybody else in the world, and I think our macro work is the best in the world as well. And we've done thousands of hours on this. And I know it sounds hubristic, but I honestly give this banana zone an 80-something% chance of happening almost immediately. Give it 2 weeks, within 2 weeks.
So there you have it, within 2 weeks roughly, which would coincide with Q4. And again, like he showed in the previous charts, everything lines up in October, starts to break out. Now I think I don't have it up. Let's see if I can at least look at it on here. I think we still have to see, to really claim it, so to speak, we're gonna have to see it break above the 75 is what we hit, 73. So we kind of hit these highs up here multiple times, 73, 71, 71, 71, 70, almost 71 again. So definitely we had trouble breaking through that 71 multiple times after we hit that 73. So once that happens, then it's off to races. And as you can see, just in a matter of days, in 2 weeks, Bitcoin was up from 54 to 63. That's almost a 20% move in under 2 weeks. So another 20% from here would be 75. So definitely possible within the next 2 weeks, as he mentioned. So will it continue to rip up here? Will we have some bounces? I don't know. But the point is, again, for me, is Raoul is the only one that I've seen cover this from that macro in-depth analysis that can help you not get shaken out, can wrap your head around what's coming and be able to weather the storm and see that, okay, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not 40% bearish or whatever it is right now. When you look at the fear and greed index, okay, we're neutral already. So once we broke around the 60 something, it popped up already. So pretty soon this will swing over. So hope you got your bags packed and that you didn't get wrecked and you're not following behind these stupid ass communities and meme tokens and all this stuff. Granted, a few of you might get lucky, but like Raoul, don't fuck this up. That's the best advice that I can give, that I've been following. That's why I show you guys this over and over on my channel, because this is already a 50x opportunity over the next 10 years. So why do you need to leverage it up to 100 or 1000x? Just doesn't make any sense. I learned my lesson in the last cycle, and I still see some people have not. Wish you guys the best. But stack sats, dollar cost average, chase your blue chips. Look at a couple others that are out there that you know might see a opportunity with. I think Raoul said he's like 80-90% bullish on Solana. So but that's only because he had been accumulating it when it was down back in like the 12s and 20s and 30s and stuff. So if you didn't jump on it back then, you might only have a 4x to 6x from here or something, but still gains to be had. I talked about Cardano earlier, and I think they have definitely some legs ahead of them, at least back to their old all-time high. They got up there with the previous cycle, and without all of the upgrades and hard forks that they've made, and without the same side, the community's grown since then, more developers since then, they got their own meme token since then. Like, this just is a no-brainer for me, and at these prices is the same price that it was at in the last cycle. So it's like, shit, there's very little downside here. You look at this, back here, 2021. So 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, it was sitting at these prices. And you go back a little further, it was another 50% below where it's at now. And then way, way lower there. So this up here, I think is a support area. Is like, what is that, $1 or something? Yep, $1.17. So breaking that, you saw it here and here. So that's at least a 3x from these prices. And in the bull run, why the hell not? Like an easy 3x on a solid project. Charles Hoskinson's legit. So if you didn't pack your bags from Cardano last time, it seems like a no-brainer for me this time. And even have a little dry powder on the side to pick up some other alts if we do get a couple more swings back. But remember, the higher we go and any pullback from those highs, so if we start breaking above 75, you get a 20% pullback from 75, you're right back at 60. So you don't get many opportunities to get what you're getting right now. All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special, help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.